Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a lot of vowels. Through an L, I would have laureate, in which case I think I have aureate. So hopefully one of those two will play. Can't see any other 8s with this rack. Okay, aureate certainly does play because K takes an A underneath it. There's no L. But look at this. I thought it played. Well, it does play, but it plays here. And this is an interesting dilemma. Should I play aureate here for 73? Yes, because if I play it underneath the K, I'm sticking an E in column 15. I was just hesitant because of the L front hook, but I think it's a choice of those two spots, and I think this is better. Great, I have fristed, and I don't think firsted is good, but I believe fristed is, and that plays underneath RE. And hopefully aureate will distract my opponent at the beginning of the word. I have a feeling that fristed has an anagram, but it's not coming to mind. I'm half thinking of strifed and firsted, but I have doubts about both of those. As indeed I do slightly about fristed. So what about the A? Do I have an 8 through that? Not that I can see. How about the U? No. The R doesn't look particularly useful. I have a couple of 2-letter sets to consider. Now, fristed plays in 2 spots because it plays in column 10, making jerks, as well as row J. So what about ET and RE? ET first. Nope. Great, I don't need to concern myself with that. Fristed would score more than anything through ET. A better play through RE would be one which got tripled, so that would be a play either ending RE or beginning something RE. Not seeing anything. So what about row K beginning with U? Unlikely with this rack. I would have fristed. Now I would have fristed and croups. That's tempting. That is 86. Which is 5 points more than column 10. And the only real danger is this E for an X underneath it, but that danger already exists with the A. And the F not massively dangerous in column 1 because it's hard to put a premium tile above it. I'm going with this. Well, does the bingo run end? I think it does. Wow. Just as I was starting to enjoy my lead, my opponent comes back with a bingo. I have macaw on my rack. And I was slightly hesitant about this rack because there are some low probability bingos with these sorts of tiles, variants of Maccabee and Macaulay. So I have away on my rack plus cam. Not seeing anything. None of these floaters cause anything to come to mind. So what I could do is play macaw here. 39 points is a decent score. But I think there's a better spot. 52 points, well that's certainly a lot better. I don't think I'm going to get a better rack leave. Or a better spot for this. I'm going with this. Not great, but it is good to see the Z. My opponent does take that a hot X spot. I have an O which can go underneath the O. So my two thoughts are, one, to use the Z for score, and two, to split up this duplicate Y. So I could play yaw for 38 points, which would be quite nice, keeping Y, A, Z. I'm just wondering if there is a Y and Z play. And I'm vaguely thinking of Uzo, but I don't think that's right, but it's close to something. I would have zonery through an N. No massive Z spots. Well, I guess it would be, I could have a play ending ZO, and I don't have one of those. And I don't have any ZYO plays. The trouble with yaw is that it only plays off one Y, but it does burn the U as well. And it takes out a hot spot without creating anything massive. And 37 points is a decent score. And since the rack as a whole was unbingo, it's not really a problem holding on to the Z. Yaw for 37. Now, just as I clicked on that, I saw that I had Azuri on my rack. Wow, another bingo for my opponent. So I hope there wasn't anywhere super fabulous for that. Now, what do I have? Well, I still have my Z. So what I could do is play Gazy, which sorts the rack out, leaving a rack leave of dial. But look at this, I have an L for laureate. So, well, I have lazy, but that doesn't fit and it doesn't get tripled. Close to dialyze, I would need an E for that. Dazily, I don't think that's good. It's not. So do I really... but Zyla is good. Z-I-L-A. Retaining the Y for score. 47 points, that's good. I'm also taking out a spot which my opponent could score well off, given that there are two L's out there. Is there somewhere even better for my Z? Zeta is good, but I can't get that to score twice. Any play in column 12 with the Z doubled would present a scoring opportunity for my opponent. So I'm not seeing anything. Is there something better than Zyla in column 1? Day isn't a terrible rack leave. I have Zadie on my rack, Z-A-I-D-Y, which would play in row D. Does that play anywhere else? No. 47 points is a good score. I'm just slightly hesitant that there's sort of a 50 or 60 point play out there. I'm going with this. Pretty good. Through an S or a Z, I would have Dynamize. Can't see anything else. Can't see a 7 with this rack. But I suspect there may be other 8s. So the floaters on the board, there's the G. Not seeing anything through that. And there's the D of Giddies. Not looking promising. Now I note that Zyla created a nice spot for my Y. So I could just play Day in that spot. Can't see a way of playing down to the double word square. I have a 40-point lead, but look at this, still both blanks out there. And the fact that we've only got 35 tiles and both blanks are out there suggests that it would be a good idea to turn over tiles, which of course day doesn't do. Do I have a double-double in row E? Don't think I do. Now through an L I would have maidenly and medianly, I think. Certainly maidenly. "15 minutes on my opponent's clock and 13 on mine." Great, just 21 points for my opponent. Does the T assist? Median doesn't take a Y. Not seeing anything there. Now I could play meanie in row D. "27 points. Slightly fewer points than day, but turning over a lot of tiles. However, one advantage of day is that the rack leave is pretty bingo-y, with the M as a good scoring tile to retain if I don't have a bingo. But is there a bigger score available than day? Still quite a few E's and I's to come, so I could have a vowel-heavy rack next turn. 12 minutes on my clock. Close to Ganymede. So now, what about a play which puts an A next to this Z? And it could be the M rather than the Y, which is on the triple letter square. Wow, I feel there could be something here. Mayan doesn't work. Dayman puts the M in the middle, which isn't good. I could play Yada. Let me see what this scores. And this may not be good. No, it's not. Okay, so let me remove that from the board. Gosh, I really would like to have an A something play, because look at the scores, they're really tight. And also it would turn over more tiles. 10 minutes on my clock. And Tube takes a number of hooks. Maybe opponent's got the blank and is setting up a 7-letter lane. These tiles look so good, I really feel that there should be something down here. I'm not seeing it. Okay, I might live to regret that. Day for 31. That looks quite good. Can't immediately see. Wow, opponent does have one of the blanks. Goes into a 20-point lead. Fortunately, there are bingo lanes on this board. I would have Abominate through AT. Can't see anything through just a T. So any other floaters I should be considering? I hope I'm not missing a 7 here. There's something about this rack which looks promising and good. I guess it's close to Amboina. Okay, so I'm quite tempted to play fob. Rack leave is good, especially with the T. 24 points is okay. And I'm not taking out any of the existing bonus lanes, bingo lanes, of which there are several. And I'd like to keep it that way until I'm ahead. Okay, I'm going with this. Great, I draw the second blank despite only drawing 2 tiles. That's a great sight to see. I have intimate in row A, albeit not getting tripled. And mini 8 is good. Is there anywhere for that? Not sure there is. But surely I have some bingo beginning with A. Let me run through the alphabet and see what comes to mind. And I'm just looking for 7s. Nothing so far. Limnead onto a D. Great, intimate stays available. I would have been sweating it if that had been blocked. Because I now know that I'm guaranteed to bingo. 8 minutes on my clock. Gosh, I could be missing something. Animes, animis, don't think either of those is good. That's mini 8. Doesn't play anywhere. Wow, I just can't see anything, so I've just got intimate, fortunately. Is there a play with this rack ending in T and just 7 minutes on my clock? So play ending meant, perhaps? A-double-I blank, not likely. I've got the anti-prefix with M-I-E. I've got the in beginning. I'm just not seeing anything, so if there is something else, it's likely to score a lot better than this. But I have intimate for 59. Wow, what a horror show. And my lead is just 39 points. That is about as grim as pickup as you can get, and the remaining tiles super bingo-y. With at least 3 7-letter bingo lanes on the board, I am not in good shape. And look at this, there's a U out in the open, but nothing I can do about it. And if there's fewer than 7 tiles in the bag, I'm not able to change. I can burn the queue next to the Eye of Giddiest or the Eye of Viral. So I could play Chin through the Eye of Viral, getting rid of at least 2 tiles. Wow, that's a shocking pickup given that every single remaining tile is bingo-y. I've basically drawn the 7 worst tiles I possibly could draw. No U's left, so quite imperative to get rid of the Q. I would have whack through an A. Can't see any available A's. When abling, sadly not good. So where are the U's? There's tube, laureate, croups, and yaw. So it's just the croups U which may be available for the Q. Still, wow, I was going to say still I's left, but there's only 1. And even if I drew that, there's no obvious spot to play QI. I think I just have to burn the Q next go, even though it's going to score 11 or 12 points. I see no reason to hold on to it. So 12 minutes on my opponent's clock, 7 on mine. If there had been an alternative bingo last turn, maybe in row L, that might have done the job in terms of taking out bingo lanes, but the T was a pretty useful floater. Opponent did draw 5 tiles, so I was going to say his rack is likely to be less bingo-y than if he had turned over fewer tiles, but since the remaining tiles are so good and there are so few duplicates, I don't think he can have a rack he's really struggling with. So am I overlooking a Q spot? I don't think so. An opponent taking a while with this move. He could be... Well, he's bound to be close to a bingo given the remaining 16 tiles. Wow, he burns 5 tiles. 34 points. Goes into, or draws to within 5 points of me. And he's taken out 2 bingo lanes. He's created a new one in column 14, but not for a bingo ending in S. So 4 tiles left. I think this has to be the play. Chin. Look at this 5-letter set. V, W, F, and G. Horrendous. Opponent's created nothing new. No A, no floating A. Just tempting to play through this O to try and get rid of some of the crap on my rack. But I can't see any good way of doing that. I'm playing chin. Well, and I just picked 2 S's. Just shocking drawing at the end of this game. However, I lead by... Okay, I don't lead at all. Opponent leads by 54 points and my race is run. So the last 2 tiles in the bag were E and H. My opponent is definitely going out. He has got EH at the top, he's got EH down here. So this is my last turn. I can play Woofs. Is there anything better? Well, Woofs scores 22. Vugs is 29, that's slightly better. Can't see anything beginning SWU. So I think I'm going to just go with this. And opponent goes out. And the final score, 450 to me, 517 to my opponent, a winning margin of 67 points, so well done to my opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, absolutely brutal end to the game. It was my opponent to go first. He played Jerk, and I had Ori8, and just the 2 positions with my position scoring 7 more than the other one. Opponent has Croup. And now you can see here there is just Fristed, so Firsted and Striped, not good. M1, that's the spot I played in. So fantastic start, 2 back-to-back bingos, and I'm 100 points in the lead. But that didn't last long. Opponent came back with Giddies. I have McCaw for 52. Not a great rack for my opponent, but he's got a big X play. Now this is when I saw Azuri at the very last minute. Oh wow, and that does play at 01 for 60 points. I saw that as I was clicking. So that would have been a better play, and look how much better it is than the also rans. So I play Yaw for 37. And then opponent has this rack. Plays Enabling. And now we're neck and neck. So, what's this? A12, Zyger, but sticking the Z available in row A. And I play Xyla for 47. Yeah, that's only 7 points behind Zyger, and Zyger offers a big scoring spot, so I'm happy with Xyla. Opponent has the blank, plays Tube. So he played Tube from this rack. Yep, keeping Toe blank. That looks pretty good. Now, Dynamite, of course. Having seen Dynamize, I missed Dynamite. That's pretty poor. And that would have been at a fairly critical time, with, from my perspective, 2 blanks out there. So that's a bad miss. And Daymare was available. Look at that, for 58 points. All pretty much as good as the bingo. Daymare was available in column 2. Okay, so definitely a suboptimal play for me there. Now, opponent's rack, he doesn't miss his bingo. Plays Goopiest. Great, I was just waiting for another missed bingo to pop up, and it didn't. D3, B-name, that's quite nice. I play Fob for 24, which is also fine because AEIMN is a pretty strong rack leave. Opponent's rack plays Viral. And now there's some bad misses here. So my play of Intimate doesn't even appear. But what was available was Amidine and Imagine. Yep. Diamine and Intime. Okay, so definitely better bingos on offer than the one I got. Opponent plays Heron, and now I have this rack of horror. Gauff. Well, all of these rack leaves are absolutely horrendous, so I still like getting rid of the queue. And look at this, my opponent's rack. Wow, just the one bingo, plays Elation. And finally I play Vugs for 29. And that's pretty much the best there is. So, let's just see what my opponent did at the end. L12, that was best. So, cracking game, very high scoring, a lot of bingos, both of us, well, my opponent over 500 and 450 to me, so big scoring game. And I think it turned on missing Dynamite and then the suboptimal bingo of Intimate when better options were available. So even when you get a big score, it's still possible to have made some significant errors in your game, and that's the benefit of reviewing your game afterwards so that you can learn from your mistakes. Anyway, well done again to my opponent for a well-played game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.